Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the Daily Vibe Ride. I am Susan Shine Carlin, Shine on SoulCenter.com is my biz. Shine on Soul Center. Whew. All right. Happy July. It's July 1. Happy July, butterflies. Okay, so I'll start with my 5 pieces of gratitude. I am thankful for another wonderful night's sleep and for getting caught up after my binge watching the night before last. So thankful for all this great July 1 energy. I am thankful for being able to spend some time with friends yesterday and laugh. That was great. I am thankful that I have plans to get together with a couple girlfriends again tonight. That makes me really happy. Number 4, I am thankful for, again, I'm going to say it, trust. And number 5, I am thankful for surrender. Okay, so that's my gratitude work there to raise the vibe up. And then we're going to do some spirit animal cards today. 5. So start thinking about that, what questions you have, and then I'm going to try my laptop again. Sometimes it works, it's cool. Oh, there we go. Ta-da. Love it. Okay, so I have another, we're going to do, hey Eros, hello. So we're going to do, the 3 things. One of them is going to be the 5 medicine cards. And then the other 2 things, I love how this content just comes to me with an inspired nudge. Really thankful for that. So the first thing that we're going to do is kind of different. Well, I guess every day is pretty different, but this one's a little bit more on the serious side, and it's to thank an unpleasant circumstance or experience that you've had. And this came to me because I don't believe in failure. I don't believe anything is an actual failure. And so I think it's important to, to feel your feelings. So maybe don't pick something that's like super fresh and raw, because we have to digest our feelings about when things don't go our way. But I'll give you an example. So a handful of years ago or so, I was in a relationship and I was madly in love. And I thought this was Mr. And it ended abruptly without any warning. So there wasn't like a fight, there wasn't an event, there wasn't anything that occurred. It just ended. And it was like, what? It was really painful, and I actually fought to try and keep that relationship alive. And now looking back, I'm so glad that failed, right? Because I've learned so much about myself and also about like what I prefer and a significant other. And I mean this in all love, you couldn't pay me enough money in the world to get back in that relationship, but it was what I thought I had to have at the time, right? And so this is where I love when failures come in, because they kind of push us when we can't see the forest for the trees. I feel like they push us into the direction that we're supposed to be going. But we can't see that clearly at the time. So now I'm so glad that I'm not in that relationship, right? But at the time I couldn't figure that out on my own at all. So there you have it. So thank an unpleasant situation, a failure, because they all work out the way they're supposed to. Hey Eric, Akamarie, Mike, wow, you guys, thank you guys for joining me so very much. Okay, so that's your first thing. And then your second thing is poetry. So a friend gave me this back in 2002, and I haven't picked up this book from Rumi in forever. I just pulled it out of the bookshelf. Hey Jill, and I'm going to open it and see what poem we're supposed to hear to raise our vibe. Okay, see how long this guy is. A couple pages, but it's not a lot of words. Okay, so I open it to the awakening. In the early dawn of happiness, you gave me 3 kisses so that I would wake up to this moment of love. I tried to remember in my heart what I dreamt about during the night, before I became aware of this morning of life. I found my dreams, but the moon took me away. It lifted me up to the firmament and suspended me there. I saw how my heart had fallen on your path, singing a song. Between my love and my heart, things were happening which slowly made me recall everything. You arouse me with your touch, although I can't see your hands. You have kissed me with tenderness, although I haven't seen your lips. You are hidden from me, but it is you who keeps me alive. Perhaps the time will come when you will tire of kisses. I shall be happy, even for insults from you. I only ask that you keep some attention on me. Wow, that's beautiful. I love this book. Classic. If you don't have it, highly recommend it, or Google a couple poems out of there. I love that, and I would not have picked up this book in forever if I didn't get that nudge. Hey Kathy, hey Ken, Lou, love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. So that's your 2 thing, and your number 3 thing doesn't sound right. Is 5 medicine cards. So pick a number between 1 and 5, and we'll see what comes up that you might like to hear today based on a question you have or an intention that you are setting, or there's been so much positive change going on for people. And like when I was talking about that thinking an unpleasant experience, a job loss falls in that category too. It's another classic example. Or having all of your credit cards full, or stuff that's like, what is going on? I love that those are the kinds of things that can lead us to an even greater, higher path. When we can't see the forest for the trees, sometimes we need a little help in that department. Okay. All right, so number 1, here we go. I hope you guys are excited for the weekend, for you stateside anyway. 4th of July is coming up. I can't believe it's the 1st of July. And I feel this like change in the energy. I think July is going to bring some very cool stuff for us here. Hey John, Dean, what is good? Okay. It's kind of been on my heart too to start doing maybe a Zoom. So I would love it if you guys could interact more and talk to me, talk to each other, chat. The lag, with the laptop and just doing the Facebook Live, I feel like it's time to add on something like that. So I'll get to work on that after the holiday weekend and see what we can come up with, especially because, and I'm so thankful for you guys, I have a few of you that like to hang out almost on the daily. Okay. We've got number 3 out. Okay, so pick a card from 1 to 5 if you'd like. Hello, John. And we'll see what comes up for you. And I may have to refer to my book just because sometimes I see cards that I haven't even ever pulled for myself that just come out here in front of you, or I've only seen them, a time or two and need a little refresher. That's a good example right there. Okay, last one. And so explain to me what you're doing with the cards. Well, this is just in love and light, John. We are just, you can think of a question you have or an intention that you'd like to put out to the universe, God, source, love, angels, whatever you want to call it. This is a non-denominational, just a spiritual carnival on the vibe ride. And so it's just for fun. They're spirit animal cards. They're these medicine cards from Native American spirituality. And so, that's what I'm doing with the cards. And some days we don't do cards. We do a lot of cards. But the only cards I use are, at this juncture anyway, are spirit animal cards, the medicine cards, or angel cards. And so that's what's up with the cards. So you can just pick it, and it's great because whether you watch this now or later, I love getting the feedback where people are like, whoa, that's the card I needed to see. Hey, Patrick, how are you? How are you? Hope you're doing good. Okay. All right, so I'll go through these one at a time. So for your number ones, here is the elk. And I always get the elk and the moose confused. And so I guess because, all right, okay. Because they have such a similar appearance on the card, and they're kind of similar creatures, but their meanings are totally different. So here, hopefully you can see that. That's the elk. And the elk is about stamina. And so slow and steady wins the race with the elk. And in the book, it talks about a story where a mountain lion is going to approach the, oh good, Patrick, good. A mountain lion is going to try and eat the elk. And the mountain lion starts bounding, with big spurts of energy to try and keep the elk, or to try to eat the elk. And the elk sees the mountain lion coming and just slow and steady with great stamina runs straight up the mountain and actually outwins the mountain lion. And so, so stamina, elk, your antlers reach for the sun. Show me that strength and stamina are one. Okay, so for you number ones, what comes up for me on that is just to keep going. To keep going, you may not be the first one to win the race or reach your goals, but because of your stamina and your strength and your determination, you just keep going. And hey, Christy, mwah, and you'll get there. Okay, so that's for your number ones. You number twos are the rabbit, and this comes up quite a bit with all of this change that we're going through, whether we like it or not. There's, everyone's lives, 100% of our lives have changed here this year, and will probably continue to change to some degree. And so the rabbit is actually about fear. And the story about the rabbit is that this is law of attraction type of stuff, so that you draw to you what you fear. And so the rabbit, if it sees an eagle or a hawk in the sky, it will cry out, don't eat me, don't eat me, don't eat me, until it finally gets the bird's attention, and of course they get eaten, right? So the idea with fear is to obviously let it go. It's an illusion, and it can really hold us back from getting where we need to go. And it's totally understandable, to have fearful feelings, and especially when we're uncomfortable and everything's changing around us, and there's a ton of weird going on in the world right now. But to release your fear is the message of the rabbit. Otherwise, the rabbit didn't learn how to do that and lives in a constant state of fear. Okay, so that's number two. Number three is the crow. And this one I want to look up as well, because a lot of people have a negative connotation with the crow. And like the elk and the moose, the crow and the raven, I tend to get them confused too. So bear with me one second. I think, okay, so the crow is about law. Crow, are you cawing so I may know the secrets of balance within my soul? Or are you sending your sacred caw just to remind me of universal laws? And so I'm trying to see here if anything is going to pop out at me, because it's a really long one. So crow is an omen of change, but it's positive change. So crow sees the physical world and even the spiritual world, as humanity interprets them, are an illusion. There are billions of worlds. There are an infinitude of creatures. Great Spirit is within all. If an individual obeys crow's perfect laws as given by the Creator, then at death he or she dies a good medicine death, going to the next incarnation with a clear memory of his or her past. So the crow card is really powerful. Oh, here we go. This is what's jumping out. So remember that the crow looks at the world first with one eye and then the other, cross-eyed. In the Mayan culture, cross-eyes had the privilege and duty of looking into the future. You must put aside your fear of being a voice in the wilderness and caw the shots as you see them. So there you go. Hey, Irene. Christy, I don't get into political stuff. I see you. I see what you're doing. I love you, girl. Mwah. Okay, so that's for your number threes. And I would say, you know, what jumps out at me for this, for whatever's on your mind, is to look at both sides of the situation and to realize that there's more to one dimension to your decision. Okay? Oh, this is another one. This is, okay, so number 4 is opossum. Possum. And I need to look him up for sure. It's been quite a bit. Okay, so possum is about diversion. Possum, roll over. Are you really dead? Or just playing possum? Was it something I said? So his biggest trick is to play dead, right? And even they can even emit that smell of death, right? And then they outsmart their opponent by doing this, because their opponent, so if you're in a conflict with someone and they just won't leave you alone, and if you're stuck, sheltered in with someone who's, you know, got conflict going on, or you're with a coworker, somewhere where you really can't escape, and they just keep coming at you, the medicine of possum is to sort of play dead. And so when you don't engage with someone who's being very confrontational, then they tend to pick a new wall. They tend to pick a new target. They will leave you alone. So that's part of possum's medicine, and they're victorious in doing this. So the other thing I'll read here is, possum may be relaying to you that you are to expect the unexpected and to be clever in achieving your victory. This could be a victory over a bothersome salesman or a nosy neighbor. In essence, possum is beckoning you to use your brain, your sense of drama, and surprise to leap over some barrier to your progress. Okay? So, no, that is Christy, that is my dog. And that is not me with any kind of breathing difficulty. My dog snores so loudly. They both do. I don't know if you can see, the pug is up on top, and then the big girl is just sawing logs there. So no, it's a polar bear. My pet polar bear. Okay, so there you go for your 4s. And last but not least, we have for number 5, the mouse. And again, the cards rarely mean what you think. When I think of a mouse, I don't like rodents. Sorry, mouse. But mouse is actually about scrutiny, and it's about paying attention to the detail. And so I've talked about this before, because I'm an Aries and I want everything done yesterday, and I am impulsive and I will make big decisions and then review the details. Often that's kind of my downfall. So when I see this card, it tells me to slow down and really look at the details and scrutinize the information that I have to make the decision that I need to, or the business venture or whatever. But if you tend to overanalyze and chew up every detail to the point where you have difficulty moving forward, when mouse shows up for you, if you have that personality type that is, you know, almost an obsessive attention to detail, when mouse shows up for that personality, it's asking you to let go, to lighten up, to pull back, and kind of take in the broader picture. Okay, so those are your, hey Chris, Pete, these are your 5 cards, and love you guys. Your empowering statement that I love to leave you with is, you are spectacular. So I am spectacular. Have an awesome Wednesday. We're almost there, a holiday weekend for a lot of us here in the United States, and just sending lots of love. I will see you guys tomorrow, and thank you again for checking out the Vibe Ride and hanging out today. All right? Mwah. Have a fantastic day.